It's Madden NFL 23, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Bears and the Buccaneers coming up next.
The Florida humidity certain to be a factor in this one. There's no other way to say it, really. It is hot. It is humid here at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Tampa. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
Mayfield on play action. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
The start less than ideal as they already face a second and long. A first carry for Rachaad White. And some room to maneuver. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try to pick this. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And not only does he have all the skills that you're looking for as a quarterback, he's incredibly tough and plays the game fearlessly as both a runner and a passer. You provide a good running game around him and let him throw deep off of play action, you've got an all-star in the making.
Let's go now. Let's go. Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing. Let's go. Get it now. Let's go, fellas.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now Fields. And that one on the money to Claypool downfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
From the 50, here's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's the first carry for Khalil Herbert. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Here's Fields. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And that sack there, that likely brings out the field goal unit, so they might have to settle for 3 here on their opening drive.
They did some nice things, getting things started there, moving the ball downfield, but taking that sack on 3rd down, that lets the air out of the momentum balloon just a little bit.
Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. A run on first down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Mayfield. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down in bounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Mayfield on first down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. DeMarcus Walker. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Flushed out, and a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Dropping this underneath with Herbert.
And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. But he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Yeah, he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. 8 yards on the touchdown pass, and they are able to add on to their advantage. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him, because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And finishing it all off was Darnell Mooney with a touchdown reception.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10.
Throwing, Mayfield.
The pass is caught by Cade Otton.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
From the 17, here's 2nd and 4.
Mayfield looks to throw.
And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin.
First target, first catch, and a 1st down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's a give to Herbert. Shifts by him. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 52 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Let's go, baby. Turn it up.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Fields on 1st down. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. Touchdown Bears! DJ Moore from 10 yards out. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Now the point after try for Santos. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by DJ Moore. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think
did.
you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Mayfield's throw on target to Godwin here. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the 1st half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
1st down, Mayfield. Right back to Chris Godwin. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards it. I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Mayfield with it once more. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Here's Mayfield. He completes this to Russell Gage. And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range, down just shy of the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And his kick here is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to quote-unquote hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Chicago. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. A shotgun snap. Fields. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A handoff for Herbert. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Herbert once more. Oh, nice move. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 3rd down, Herbert. And the ball is knocked out. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Well, CD, that's one of those plays you put a mark by. I mean, that could be a big momentum swing here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, we may have to revisit it, right? Because if that drive ends up in the end zone, they're sitting pretty at that point. Now, instead, it's a 2-score game that has a chance to tighten up considerably.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, Mayfield. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mayfield now. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. gets it. And the Bears are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now it's Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
From the 50, here's Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
The 2nd and 10 now as we roll along in the 3rd quarter from Tampa. Here's Fields. They'll set up the screen to Herbert. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And let's see, the Bucs with 6 DBs, so a dime set here on 3rd down. Again, Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And the Bucs are going to take over at their own 41. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one, because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Following the interception, Mayfield. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Play fake. Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the 2nd half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Now Mayfield. Complete right side to Otten.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And the Buccaneers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
Here's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground. And here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And able to work his way down to the 16. He'll pick up 7 there on the 1st down keeper.
Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Now Herbert.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. It's a gain of 3 on what will be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Fields on 3rd down.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Carlton Davis picks it.
And the Bucs are right back in this football game.
That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over.
The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
He's got Otten.
And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield.
Finding Otten once more.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 7 now. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. T.J. Edwards picks up his second sack of the afternoon. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you had extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Fields. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. A gain of 7 that time, 2nd and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd and goal from the 1. Foreman will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Santos now to add the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards the pickup there. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but
Certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad. Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
And he's going to have the hook up to Gage.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Holding, offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Mayfield looks to throw. His throw incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And this offense on 3rd down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Here's Herbert. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Another carry for Herbert on 2nd down.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll go again with Herbert.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second